This particular dog, you can see just from looking at him without me cutting his hair, his top line swoops down. We're going to have to adjust that, and that's because of his front problems. We're going to work on the rear. We're going to begin here. Let me turn him this way just a little bit. We're going to begin here, and this is where you should always begin. I'm going to hold his tail underneath his body. Your first cut should be at the angle it should be, not at the angle of the dog, but at the angle that it should be. It's going to be coming across from point of hip to point of rump this way. I'm just going to blow that hair out of the way so that you can see what I'm doing. Notice I'm staying in the coat and I'm not bouncing. That's going to give you that crisp line. But you want to create that angle from point of hip to point of rump and create it even if it's not there. That's part of correcting structural faults. This is the soft sculpture part of it. And we're going to, once we've created this line, I'm going to flip my scissors and use the back side of the blade and come on across this hip so you can see that complete line and you won't get lost in the hair that's not cut on the other side. We're going to come across this way. So we've created this angle from point of hip to point of rump. I'm going to check his tail set. And his tail, even though he's built wrong, is coming right off the top of his back. So I'm going to clear this area here just to accentuate his tail set a little bit. And notice I'm going very tight at the base of the tail. Continue that line that we already created. The point of rump is right here. I'm going to comb this hair up. I'm going to do that on the other side as well, even though you can't see what I'm doing. It's the same that I did on the other side. Just doing that so that you get a clear vision of what this angle should be all the way through. And there again, balance and symmetry. This angle on the left side should match this angle on the right side. So if you're bent down like this and you're cutting in that angle, you should be able to see straight across, and one side's not higher than the other, one side's not angled down farther than the other. They're both identical. So we're going to finish that line. And then I'm going to grab my curved shears just in case I need them, but I always teach people you create these angles with straight shears. Curved shears are cheaters. But you're going to point and first of all check where the bend of knee is. And you do that by lifting this leg and you can see where that bend of knee is. So make a mental note of where that is. You're going to aim the tip of your scissors toward that point, and that is going to be the shortest point of hair. Clear that out a little bit so that you can see. So you're going to go from point of rump to the bend of knee, and that's the tightest point. Come straight across. And you notice how I keep combing that up, because you can't, I don't care who you are or how good you are, you cannot get that smooth, crisp finish in just one pass. So you're going to have to comb it up and keep going back over it until you get that nice crisp line. And when you comb back up, you don't see anything out of the way. I need to step over this way just for a second and check my angle. We're doing good. I'm going to come across right here in the center just a little bit just to clear that out. I am not creating a new line. I'm just continuing this line on out to the side coat of the leg. You can see that angle created. Now with that done, and he stands with his legs really underneath him. He's under this coat is sickle hocked, meaning that his hock is like that instead of perpendicular straight up and down to the ground, which is what it should be. Now, he doesn't have enough coat down here to fix that yet, but we're going to work on it. We're going to get it closer. I'm going to come in at this angle. They should have what's called a well let down hock. Now, a lot of breeds that we groom, if you read in the AKC standard, in the book, it'll say well let down hock, and what that translates to is it translates to short in height. A lot of people don't know what those technical terms mean, so that's what that means. Is it just means short in height. Well let down means short in height. So we have to groom this dog to look like he's got a very short hock. I'm going to lift this leg out of the way so I can bring this line down just a little bit so his hock doesn't look so tall. Even though he's sickle hocked, he does have quite a tall hock. Okay. Now that we've created that line in the rear assembly, what we're going to do is I'm going to turn him more towards the camera so that you can see it's the same as with the front assembly. You do your outside parallel lines first, and then you do your inside parallel line. So we've created this line. We're going to come straight down the outside of that leg in a parallel line. And with a bichon, it should be a soft U shape coming off the hip.